Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special video series we're calling Trailblazers TV. We're featuring a few of Trace3's key partners, asking them to play a fun game with us. I'm Josh Lindstrom, Senior Director of Data and Analytics at Trace3. I'm joined by Dale Brown, Worldwide Leader of Growth AI Solutions at Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Okay, Dale, I'm going to ask you a few questions. What the questions are will be determined by this wheel. We have a mix of business, technical, and fun.
Great.
You have no idea what's coming. So are you ready?
Yep. It's a Trace3 Wheel of Destiny.
Okay. Well, Dale, hey, let's spin the wheel. Let's see what we got going.
Fantastic.
Fun or technical or business. What are we going with? All right. Well, let's start with why Trace3. It's a great starting point. Kicks off the podcast. Tell me, Dale, why partner with Trace3? How are you guys partnering from an HPE perspective?
Sure.
Love to hear your answer and how we collaborate.
That's an easy one.
Okay.
So a couple things that are important. I come from the AI world.
Sure.
And so when I look at what you guys do, you manage the intimacy of a customer needs and relationship on the first mile and the last mile impeccably well, right? I think your motto is always listen, always deliver, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right? You do this in spades. I've seen it time and time again. And what I love about that is that customers want to make low risk decisions, and you make it so that they can actually take from an ideation all the way through to execution. So you're one of the people that I and my team really want to work with to deliver value and outcomes in AI for customers.
Yeah, it's a great answer, Dale, and I really appreciate the kind words from a Trace3 perspective. We'll say the same thing about HPE. I mean, from our point of view, just you and I met a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We hit it off right away, and the things that you and your team are driving are similar to what my team is doing. That synergy was right there, and again, the partnership I think couldn't be in a better spot.
Yeah, very complimentary. Thank you for saying so.
For saying that. So, all right, let's keep going. I mean, This is kind of a fun deal. We're trying to keep it live, see what's happening, and fun. Sometimes I hit the weight room too much, and it keeps going. Okay, call me. Great question here. Why would customers call HP when it comes to different initiatives and kind of all that the new kind of trends? And you guys are not the same HP that maybe your mom and dad knew back in the day. Why would customers call you? Why would Trace3 call you? How do we work through that?
So when you look at HPE, right? 80 years of legacy of tech, right?
Yeah.
We're one of the companies that started Silicon Valley. I'm really super proud of that. But what is our real brand? Our real brand is to be a low-risk provider of solutions. We're bringing that same brand into my realm, my domain of expertise in AI. So the reason that customers want to engage with us is if they want a low-risk path to outcomes that's enabled by AI with cogent ways of doing it, whether it's for the enterprise or it's doing things at an incredibly large scale in AI, we've got the answers to those sorts of questions, and not just the what we sell, but how customers should achieve those outcomes. That's why you'd call us.
Yeah, that's great, Dale. I mean, I think one of the things that we're seeing kind of firsthand is not only do we have the technology, but can we drive outcomes? And I think that's really what you're saying. Like, hey, the customer, hey, call us because we can drive outcomes and really kind of drive that true innovation, and deliver those outcomes with the innovation that HP is happening.
No one's doing AI for AI's sake, right? It's cool. There's lots of tech, but there's too much of it. Frankly, if you look at all of the different solutions that are out there, there's so many point solutions, and it's messy.
Yeah.
And so customers don't want messy.
Yeah.
They want an outcome. And so the idea here is how do we actually give them some level of predictability? You guys do this incredibly well, the way you engage, and I like to think that we do really well with the components of tech that we deliver to you to deliver to customers.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's keep going. Maybe we'll get a fun one. I don't know. We'll see here. Event.
Okay,
I like this one. Give me your favorite city.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to do? I'm a big music guy. Maybe we could talk about what you like to go do in your favorite city, and I would like to go to a concert in some of my favorite cities, but. Maybe, Dale, tell me a little bit about what you would like to do as far as an event in your favorite city.
Got it. Okay, so my favorite city for events all time is San Diego.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Right?
Okay.
It's got the SoCal weather. It's not overly congested. The facilities are fantastic. They've got good hotels and good food, right?
Sure.
And the people are lighthearted and fun,
Yeah.
right? So now, Are they at any time soon going to have some sort of music festival like a South by Southwest? Probably not, right? You don't go to San Diego for that. You go someplace else. I think if I were going to go someplace, lively like that, it would have to be like a South by Southwest in Austin, or it'd have to be like some of the stuff that just happens all the time in Nashville. Yeah. Like that would be my place from a social standpoint, just evening liveliness going from thing to thing.
Yeah. And I think that's so great because we've got so many San Diego Padre fans within Trace3, and they love going to the games. They like the excitement that's happening in the city all the time. And then you take that to Austin, Nashville, you get the live music, the good food. Yeah, you're just hanging out and having a good time.
I'm a native Californian.
Oh, okay.
Albeit though, admittedly, I'm a NorCal guy. Okay. Right. Okay. And yes, I do say hella and hecka, like a typical Northerner. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a Californian, so I'm absolutely going to pick a city. Yeah,
I was born in California, and my parents moved me to Minnesota, so I get a boat all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, boys. So I get that accent going every once in a while. So I hear you there. All right, Dale, let's keep going here. Next level.
Yes.
Okay, so our entire organization, we kicked off the year, our CEO, Rich Fennessy, across the company, we want to bring it next level, not only to our customers, but to our partners and inside of Trace3. Yep. How are you bringing that next level? That's what we're challenging ourselves with. How is HPE driving that next level initiative?
Yeah, great question. So if I put it in the context of AI, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's great.
The reality is that, as I said earlier, there's a bunch of point solutions out there. Customers are sick of point solutions. They want like the one throat to choke. They want one outcome. If they're going to engage, they want to know that the tech is going to work. It's not about tech for tech's sake, right? Also, customers, not all of them have all the architectural depth, but they still need AI results.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're removing friction and guesswork, right? In that brand of being a low risk provider, we're actually saying, okay, great. Here's a full stack solution. Here's a complete reference architecture. This is proven to work. We have validated it, and it will get you these outcomes on your journey. And if you have sort of a multi-phase journey, here's how we're going to do it. So to put a pin in that, it's really providing technology that enables reduced friction with a cogent beginning and middle and end on the customer's AI journey. That's what we're doing. And if you look, the thing that's near and dear to my heart, one of the things I'm responsible for is private cloud AI at HPE. And that's a full stack solution. It's engineered, hardened, and it's co-engineered with NVIDIA. It's got both NVIDIA and HPE's brand on it. It's the only thing out there like it today. And it's squarely in how do we get to the next level?
Well, and Dale, we saw this firsthand. Like what we're seeing is organizations had to piecemeal storage, network, compute with software, tie it back into data, and they were piecing all that together. And I think what I'm hearing you say is you've actually eliminated that friction and really helping accelerate true outcomes like you were talking about early on. Right?
The one throat to choke matters in AI. Because AI is all about context and relevance, right?
Sure.
So the customer's trying to bring context and relevance to the AI conversation. They can't do that if they're got a finger pointing between point solutions vendors, right? And frankly, the weight of AI, it becoming really a workload in the enterprise, is going to cause that more and more and more.
Yeah, and I actually think that next layer of private cloud AI that you guys are already doing, you're embracing the open source community.
For sure.
You're able
100%.
to bring those open source, tie it all in together where maybe different entities within an enterprise customer, they would be very siloed.
Thank you.
You guys are actually bringing that to the
with
forefront.
the user experience, right?
Yes.
It's not just like mess around at the command line. Hopefully you know about Kubernetes. Yeah. It's like there's an actual beginning, middle, and end, and a workflow with the best in class open source tools and all the NVIDIA AI Essentials software stack as well.
Yeah, great. Well, I love that next level. You guys are embracing that partnership, being able to bring that to the forefront and really, truly bringing that next level to the customer. So
we're trying, for sure.
Let's see, what do we got here? Foodie, right? So I kind of like to do, like, everybody says they're a foodie. Everybody wants to go be a foodie. Where you live in NorCal.
Yeah.
what are we eating? What is the place to be? What is your go-to?
So I'm from Danville, California,
Okay.
which is in the East Bay.
Sure.
And if you don't know where that is, it's north of Pleasanton and south of Walnut Creek on the 680 corridor.
There you go.
And I would take you to a place that's called Bridges.
Okay.
And what it's known for is it was in the movie Mrs. Doubtfire. Remember when Robin Williams is getting out of the car and the Pierce Bronson character is standing there and Mrs. Doubtfire grabs an orange and throws it and it says drive-by fruiting? That was right outside of Bridges.
Okay.
And there was also an internal scene filmed there.
Okay.
They've got the best food, best wine, best California cuisine.
Great.
And it's sitting on a cul-de-sac right by the Danville Community Center. So it's actually a really cool downtown area.
So obviously with food comes wine.
Yeah.
Do you got a wine of choice? Is there
yes.
or maybe go ahead.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me?
So I'm funny in that, like, I'm not a beer or white wine drinker.
Okay.
I'm a Malbec guy,
Malbec.
really.
Okay.
Or a bourbon drinker. But
Okay.
you didn't ask that, but nonetheless, there's added value. But I'm really a Malbec guy.
Okay, Malbec. All right. I'm a maybe Pinot Noir.
Okay,
a little bit
something
lighter.
Now I'm all about heavy, right?
There you go. I like it, Dale. Okay, well, let's keep going. What else do we got here? Sneak peek.
Yeah.
We touched a little bit about you guys combining that private cloud AI appliance, working through some of that. Give me a little bit of sneak peek on what you guys are doing from an AI perspective, and maybe kind of tell me a little bit about maybe non-disclosure away, but maybe
just
tell
us.
me a little, just us. Maybe just tell us a little bit about what you guys are bringing in and what should we be looking for from both customer and partner on what HP is doing as far as
great.
next
So
level.
think about this way. If we're saying that we want to deliver to the enterprise and to our customers at writ large, public sector, et cetera, a cogent solution that has a full stack flavor to it, right? Where that actually starts is not just in production, but it starts in the lab. So not a sneak peek, but because just recently launched at GTC with NVIDIA was something we call the developers, basically a starter sandbox kit, which is actually a cloud-like democratized experience, but it actually has all of the guardrails. So instead of developing stuff on a notebook computer with no guardrails, no rules, tools, schools, you're doing it in an environment, in your network, close to your data, so you can rapidly prototype. And the stuff that you prototype in there can actually push into production. And if you want to extend that, you can easily guess at what's next, because we have a footprint of private cloud AI, but then the question is going to be, okay, customers want to scale. So be on the lookout for maybe expanded configurations.
Sure.
And how people think of that full stack solution in the data center writ large.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah. And I think one of the cool things that I saw on that developer device, the price point is digestible. You actually go from the art of possible to art of getting things done, because you now have a device that you can actually go run models, has the software in it with NVIDIA, and you're starting small. You don't need to have this huge investment, right?
With a user login.
Yeah.
I mean, see, what's interesting about AI is that if you really want AI in the enterprise and you want to remove friction, you've got to have a cloud-like experience.
Yes.
You have to just be able to say, here's the user releases a login. All the tools are there, and you just are a user in the private cloud.
Yeah.
Right. That's really the wave of the future, because that's just like public cloud versus hybrid. The world changed, right? And we're going to change AI as to something that just happens in the public cloud because it's an on-ramp, to happening closer to where the data is, right?
Yes.
So bring AI to the data, but give a cloud-like experience.
Yeah, and
That's
then
what we're
you
doing.
layer on security, all
100%.
the components, all
well,
the
and
things.
your rules, tools, and schools. Like,
Yes.
as the enterprise, you don't have to reinvent the concept of InfoSec for AI.
Great
we
call.
need it that way.
Great call. Great. I love that. We're looking at sneak peek. We're learning a little bit next level. We learned a little bit about wine and Malbec. AI assistant. How are you using AI today in your daily life? Like, are you leveraging it? Are you using it? And,
all the time.
And maybe
Sure.
not so much of. I know everybody's leveraging it for more productivity, but is there a productivity aspect of it? And then are you using it on your day-to-day life with the family and other things?
So I'm proud to say two things. As my boss would say, that we drink our own champagne. So we've recently launched something called Chat HPE, and it actually runs on private cloud AI inside of HPE,
Okay,
right?
great.
And so I can use that to do all of the things that have sort of the guideposts and guardrails.
Sure.
But what did I use for personally? I actually was at the airport coming down to see you today.
Okay.
And I went into Google Gemini and I said, I'm going to this address at Trace3. give me the address to the nearest Starbucks. And of course, so I use it to curate things all the time, right? Instead of search.
Yeah.
So it's totally search replacement for me. I'm curating things and it took me right. And then I walked from that Starbucks to your office because it was so close. It was like 0.8 of a mile or something. So that's how I use it in my daily life. I just, sorry guys, sorry Google. I don't use search. I use Gemini or I use ChatGPT for those kinds of things.
I like it. So tell me a little bit about the HP side of it. Are you guys are leveraging that for better sales insights to customers? What's kind of the newest, greatest things within HP, so everybody inside of HP can leverage that?
Yeah.
I don't want to call it a chat bot. It sounds like it's a little bit more broader because you're leveraging the PCA.
Chat HPE is just a concept. If you think about it this way, what we're using it for is to get to the point faster, right? Let me give you an example. For those of you in corporate America, you can have 25 emails deep string of something, right? If you're using it inside of your domain where your data is in your network with all of your governance and compliance, you can take that email, put it in something like we have a Chat HPE and say, summarize this for me. What are the key actions? What are the gaps? What am I missing from this? What insights can you give me if in the context of sales, customer relationships, customer sat? And you can do very unique things. Eventually, you could be able to do this in a broader sense. Now, your people might say, well, why don't you use Copilot? Well, because I have to make sure as a public company that I'm protecting my data and I have a fiduciary responsibility, right? So, it's a little bit of a shameless plug, but I'm really proud that we're drinking our own champagne and doing this. And it's a huge time savings for our employees.
And actually then becomes even easier for you to go share with customers, hey, look what we're doing. How easy would it be if you embraced the private cloud AI as an option? You could be doing that same kind of thing, right?
Well, think about it this way, right? When you point it at, let's say you pointed out an internal wiki, right? You guys would have this too, right? It's like customer wants this configuration with this version of something. Tell me what the latest updates are. Are there any support considerations? And how long will it take to deliver that? We're not far away from everyone in corporate America being able to do that, and frankly, in the world, being able to do that very, very quickly and get exactly what we need and not worry about a business process, but have it go hit our back-end systems and rationalize that for us.
That's great.
Right?
All right, well, let's keep going. Get a couple more left. All right, disruptor. How's HP disrupting? Trace3 has been embracing innovation and our engineering skills to disrupt, not so much disrupt to make challenges for our customers, but be a disruptor, forefront of to help our customers accelerate different AI initiatives. How is HP driving that?
This is so easy. We are disrupting the customer's perception of time to value, obligation, responsibility, and how we're partnering with them to deliver AI outcomes.
I love that.
There is no other product in the market like our private cloud AI product today. It's certainly nothing else that has HP and NVIDIA's brand on it. It's a full stack solution. And other companies are doing great things with their partner programs and all of those great things. But at the end of the day, being able to provide a full stack solution gets the customer to expect better, faster, at lower risk.
Yeah, and as the senior director within Trace3's data and analytics practice, I see that firsthand. To me, that's why we're embracing the partnership, because of, again, we're
100%.
releasing the friction at the same time disrupting, at the same time solving business problems. And I think that's all of that tied together, again, makes it easier for the customer to delve into AI. Now it just doesn't become hey, we need to go do something. We can actually go get things done. And that's really what we're seeing.
Also, I would say that also the way that decisions are made, the dirty secret of AI, I'm going to write a Medium post on this one. So here's a little preview of this. The dirty secret of AI is you have multiple constituents that don't speak the same language. Your AI practitioners, your IT production folks, maybe your product engineering team, your business unit, your finance folks, those people don't speak the same language. And if you don't have architects to help you architect this stuff full stack, you need Trace3.
Yes.
You need Trace3 because also with your relationship, you know what they bought last year. Yeah. You know what their security requirements are. You know what their network topology looks like, right? So you can actually answer this question faster than they can answer it themselves.
What allows us to walk into our customers who we've traditionally sold HP to, and help them uplift to an AI conversation without a bunch of steps to get there.
It's so much value. if any of your listeners out here right now have ever seen what it takes just to get something to work in AI in a lab,
yes,
you have to line up the frameworks, and you make one change and you can't push that thing to production.
Yeah.
And then how does a production IT person scale that?
Exactly.
Right? How does anyone? Well, all these people toil around, and then guess what? They want to get something done, and they start taking shortcuts.
Yeah.
Shortcuts are now brand damaging in the world, right?
Yeah, and I always talk about this because everybody can have all the use cases in the world. You don't have the right data and the underlying infrastructure to be able to help it solve those use cases. You're never going to get there. And that early on within AI, that was a challenge.
Well, and you might be able to get there in a lab, but can you get there repeatably? And then did you get there the right way?
Yeah.
Because people are fairly quickly are going to have to sign off that what that system touched is actually compliant for regulatory and otherwise, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they need you guys.
Okay. Let's talk about one of the last few ones is this emerging trends one.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about emerging trends within HP. You and I met. I want to touch on one thing on how you guys are getting in front of customers on emerging trends on that side. But maybe tell me a little bit about what HP is driving toward and what you guys are seeing from emerging trends on that side.
We are really excited about NVIDIA blueprints, right? We believe that the NVIDIA blueprints are going to be the de facto standard of how the enterprise really rationalizes, builds, ingests, and then launches in production, right? And so you'll be able to see that more and more within our product and with our NVIDIA relationship. You may not know this, but I actually own the NVIDIA relationship globally as well.
Oh, that's great.
Aside from private cloud.
You're a great person to know because I own the NVIDIA relationship with Trace3.
Well, there we go. Match made in heaven, right?
Match made in heaven. I love it. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we are super excited about the blueprint technology. And because the reality is it's the passport in the enterprise to the NVIDIA ecosystem of tech. All the NVIDIA software tech allows people to really engineer things deeply.
Yes.
Right? And do it the right way, right? So when you think about emerging trends, it's going to be blueprints. What's going to be interesting, though, if I'm an enterprise customer, how am I going to consume AI? Mostly it's going to be through agentic stuff, right?
Yes.
The solutions that customers are going to deploy inside of maybe the tools and tech that they already know, right? You know, the SAPs, the other sort of workflow related products and how they run the enterprise will be adding agentic AI, right? And so they're going to see some of that, even if they're not doing their own AI initiatives.
What I love is with you guys and NVIDIA, nobody's dictating what the blueprint should be. They're actually allowing customers, partners, go build your own blueprints.
Right.
Go make it more
100%.
verticalized based on what your customer base is. Now you can go take that to market. That's a game changer. That's an awesome emerging trend.
This is why I think it's going to be a de facto standard as we roll forward.
The other thing I wanted to click on is was very interesting talking to your sales teams and how you guys go to market.
Mm-hmm.
You do it a way different. And to me, that's an emerging trend. That's the first time I've ever seen a partner like HP think of things different of how you bring skill sets from a data science perspective and then put them in front of customers where folks that have been through the trenches and do that. To me, that's an emerging trend because a lot of folks are putting sales reps in and saying, hey, go sell AI.
Yeah.
You guys are actually taking folks that were in the trenches and being able to say and train them up in a way to say, look, we've got this private cloud AI appliance that we want to be able to go drive. We're changing the game on how we get in front of customers. Talk a little bit about that because I think that's super cool.
So we've created sort of a two-tier sales organization because number one, I have to make sure that all NVIDIA customers and HPE customers, that are representing NVIDIA products are actually having a great experience, right? And so we have the people that manage the customer relationships, but behind them on this AI specialist journey, if you will, right? Whether it's the private cloud team or other high performance compute teams, right? We actually put expertise in front of the customer relative to the data center, relative to building AI things and AI practitioners. As an example, I have a very specific team that I call account development, and they are staffed with people that have experience in AI in the enterprise with a whole ecosystem of tools and tech, certainly at the software layer, and they actually can talk to the customers in terms of their outcomes. And so they literally will create a customer profile based upon the thesis, what their motivation is, what their outcomes are, what their hair on fire problems are. And we actually talk about in preparation how we can solve that problem. So we can get right to the meat of what they need to do today. And you can't do that unless you have a been there, done that too.
And that's an emerging trend that I don't think a lot of folks are. They're placing traditional sellers and saying, go sell AI. And then there's a lot of components.
It's a different sales motion.
It's a different sales motion.
Yeah. Well, because here's the problem is that companies are trying to sell AI from infrastructure up are going to have a real challenge.
I love that.
Because it's not an infrastructure up conversation solely. It is for a steady state production thing, right? But you've got to come from business outcome down.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you got to make it rationalize and meet in the middle and answer InfoSec, governance, compliance, finance, right? All of the other core business principles. And if you don't sandwich it that way, you're not going to do a good job for your customer.
Okay. I love that. Well, hey, that's a lot of questions. I got one more. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Great.
Just thought about this, and you and I just met each other, so I have no idea. Maybe it's too much on the spot. You look like you got some good fashion.
Oh, thank you.
Are you a watch guy? Are you a shoe guy? Are you a clothes guy? What is your go-to when it comes to that?
I used to be a watch guy.
Okay.
And then I just started buying Apple Watches.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
So I got this Ultra,
Yes.
right? But
Yeah.
I used to be a watch guy. I as you can kind of tell, I like to stand out.
I
right?
love that. Yeah. I
And
agree.
so I'm probably a clothes guy, but I think I'm more reformed.
Yeah.
I'm more select now than I used to be. I used
Sure.
to be like about volume, and now I'm about like, very specific things.
I like that.
So,
I like that.
I'd like to think I'm a little bit more refined.
Is
than I used
there?
to be.
Are you online, or do you like to go into the store?
Oh, online.
Online.
Oh,
Only.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't, I don't have time.
Yes. Right.
Like, I was telling one of my colleagues at HP the other day that like my Mondays start at 5:30 a.m. and at 8:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Because I'm like on calls all around the world. So
Yes.
like if I want anything good, it's got to be online.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. I love that. Dale, great pleasure meeting you.
Likewise.
I love the conversation. I look forward to continue. We're going to have, you guys have a big event coming up, right?
Yes,
in Vegas.
Discover.
Maybe just talk a little bit about Discover just at a high level.
Middle of June, we have
Okay.
our annual customer conference, and it's called Discover. It's in Las Vegas. Our keynote, again, for the second year in a row, is going to be at the Sphere. We were the first corporation to have an event at the Sphere. And our president, Antonio Neri, provides a keynote along with our other senior
Sure.
leaders.
Okay.
And then we have all the things you'd expect, right? But everything is really about empowering our customer, helping them take things to the next level. And it's a fantastic event. So it's middle of June.
I'll be there. I got my pass. I'm
I'll
ready
see
to
you there.
go. I'll see you there.
HP.com. You'll see it.
You'll see it there. Well, appreciate it, Dale. Always a pleasure
Likewise, thank you.
talking with you, and looking forward to further conversations. It's very enlightening, and I hope everybody got a lot out of it. So appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me. I
Dale.
really appreciate
Yep.
it.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks.